We have a very special guest, the author of Beneath the Marble Sky and the other books, John Shores.
Hey, it's always nice, interacting with fans, just having one-to-one conversations. It's always great.
So, Mr. Shores, what inspired you to write Beneath the Marble Sky?
That's a good question, Mr. Schelhorse. So, in my experience, I've been lucky enough to travel abroad, such as through Europe, Africa, Asia, and the South Pacific. And through my travels, I've seen many different monuments, many different art pieces, such as the Taj Mahal. And I believe the Taj Mahal is a very interesting story, and I thought, that'd be great writing material for a new book, and I thought, take the story, maybe put a little bit of a twist to it, to captivate the readers.
So, Mr. Shores, how do you feel about your book being accepted in today's high schools in
I'm actually
America?
glad that my book is being accepted today in today's high school curriculum in America, because I feel that students, we've always grown up with Western ideals and cultures, especially with the 200 years that we've been here in America. But I've decided that, using this book, it's a way for us to kind of just step back away from what we know and take a different perspective of the world, such as in India in the 17th century. I touch upon sensitive topics such as rape and violence against women. That was commonplace back then, and back then, killing your father was the biggest sin, whereas nowadays, just killing anyone would be considered, a felony.
So, Mr. Shores, what do you think is the biggest turning point in Beneath the Marble Sky?
So, actually, Mr. Schelhorse, spoiler alert for the viewers, most people would assume that the biggest turning point in the book would be when Jahanara accused her husband of being the spy when he really wasn't, and got him executed by her brother Aurangzeb. But actually, to me, what I feel like is the biggest turning point in the book was when Jahanara fell in love with Isa, because at that point I feel like it gave her a choice, because she was born under royalty and she's expected to live her life, to be the princess under a possible malefacent ruler. However, by meeting Isa, it gives her a choice in her own destiny. She could finally decide that instead of being a princess, she can be whoever else she wants to be, as long as she's with him, being away from royal eyes and the public eye.
Research the context of Beneath the Marble Sky so efficiently.
Traveling around the world, I decided to research into religious texts, memoirs, and especially historical accounts of the 17th century. But I believe that for me, one of the best sources for the history is in the art of the time, because without the visual aid, I never would have been able to truly grasp what it was like back in the 17th century India for my readers, as by just looking at text. With the help of the visual aids, it really made it into what I believe is the bestseller today.
Thank you for attending the interview, Mr. Shores.
Well, thanks for having me, and to all the viewers out there, if thanks for reading my book. I love, the feedback that you guys always give. It's always so positive. And, what you guys keep doing inspires me to keep writing. So, you guys keep doing you and I do me.